Good morning to my dear students. Welcome back to Adme Green School, Jai Swami Narayan. Today I start with class 8th revision of periodic test 3. Okay, we start with history, lesson 5, 6 and 7. We will just have a small recap of this lessons. Okay, that is lesson number 5 of history. When people rebel, 1857 and after, that is the policies and the people. How Nawabs lose their power when the British came, how they lose their power. Okay, then also in this topic we will learn about Peshwa Nana Sahib and Rani Lakshmi Bai. Okay, about Awadh, about Governor General Dalhousie, जिन्होंने अनाउंस किया था that after the death of बहादुर शाह जफर पूरा जो ये मुगल डायनेस्टी वो खत्म हो जाएगी एंड मुगल्स विल बी शिफ्टेड आउट ऑफ द रेड फोर्ट. लाल किले से हमेशा के लिए उनका राज बंद हो जाएगा. देन द सेकेंड इज द peasants and the sepoys, under that the Indian sepoys. Okay, then we study about the responses to reforms, a mutiny between a popular rebellion, that कैसे 1857 में ये रिवोल्ट अकर हुआ था ड्यू टू द इंडियन सिपाहीज जिन्होंने रेड फोर्ट जाके बहादुर शाह जफर से कहा था कि आप हमारे लीडर बनो ऑफ दिस, दैट इज 1857 revolt में. Then how from Meerut to Delhi, that is Sepoy Mangal Pandey was hanged on 29 March 1857 for attacking his officers in Barakpur. You know कि मंगल पांडे was the first revolutionary जिसको डेथ हुई थी, जिसको हैंग कर दिया था, और उसके बाद से रिवॉल्यूशनरी मूवमेंट हमारे इंडिया में स्टार्ट हो गई थी. Okay, then on 9th May 1857 in Meerut, 85 Indian sepoys who refused to use new cartridges, rumored to be greased with cow and pig fat. ये तो आपको पता ही है. Because of this, Mangal Pandey ने revolt किया था. Okay, and he was severely punished. Then how do the rebellion spreads? The British were pushed out of the Delhi after the sepoy. Many troop regiments mutinied to join other troops at nodal points like Delhi, Nagpur and Kanpur and Lucknow. People from towns and villages rallied around local leaders, zamindars and other leaders who were prepared to demonstrate this authority against the British. This alarmed the British troops so much that they sent urgent messages to their commanders expressing the fear that they were outnumbered, that many villages and zamindars had risen to oppose them. Then Nana Sahib, the adopted son of the late Peshwa Bajirao, living near Kanpur, gathered an army to expel the British garrison from the city. He proclaimed himself Peshwa and a governor under the Mughal king. Then Birjis Qadar, the son of the deposed Nawab Wajid Ali Shah in Lucknow, was proclaimed the new Nawab. He also acknowledged that he ruled under the Mughal king. His mother Begum Hazrat Mahal actively organized a rebellion in the region of Awadh, and also in Jhansi. Rani Lakshmi Bai joined the rebel sepoys and fought the British along the Tatya Tope, the general of the Nana Sahib. Then about Ahmadullah Shah, a Maulvi from Faizabad, caught the imagination of the people and raised a huge force of supporters to go to Lucknow to fight the Britishers. And at that time, Bakhat Singh, a soldier from Bareilly, took charge a large force of fighters who came to Delhi. Okay, जैसे कैसे rebellion spread हुआ 1857 का revolt, and the company fights back. Okay, मतलब ये जो ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी में भी फिर वो भी थोड़ी चुप बैठ सकते थे, उन्होंने भी फिर आगे से जवाब दिया. दैट इज द कंपनी स्टार्टेड सप्रेसिंग द रिवोल्ट बाय ब्रिंगिंग reinforcements from England, passing new laws to convict the rebels easily and moving to the important centers of the revolt, initially recapturing Delhi in September 1857. Then the last Mughal king was tried in court, sentenced to life imprisonment and exiled to Rangoon where he died in November 1862. Okay, then the Lucknow was retaken from the rebels in March 1858, and Rani Lakshmibai was defeated and killed in June 1858 near Gwalior. Tatya Tope waged guerrilla warfare for some time with the support of many tribal and peasant leaders, but वो भी finally captured हो गए थे. He was killed in April 1859. Simultaneously, the British tried their best to win back the loyalty of the people by announcing the rewards for loyal landholders, that they would continue to have traditional rights over their lands. The rebels were told that if they submitted to the British and if they had not killed any white people, they would remain safe and their rights and claims to land would be denied. मतलब ब्रिटिशर्स ने सोचा कि 1857 के रिवोल्ट के बाद हमें वो अपनी जो लॉयल्टी हमने जो खो चुके हैं वो हमें वापस लाना पड़ेगा. और फिर उन्होंने किसी तरीके से लोगों को फिर से अपने प्लान में अपने प्लान के ज़रिए मतलब कुछ ना कुछ भड़काने की कोशिश की या उन्हें रिश्वत दिया. ओके कि आप सेफ रहोगे अगर आप हमारे साथ काम करोगे, यू विल गेट योर राइट्स एंड क्लेम्स. एंड बहुत सारे एश्योरेंसेस दिए टू दी पीपल ताकि वो अपनी लॉयल्टी वापस ला सके. देन द लास्ट पार्ट ऑफ दिस लेसन इज आफ्टर मथ यानी 1857 के बाद क्या हुआ. Subsequent to the suppression of the revolt, the British made important changes in the governance of India. Some of these changes were: first, the British Parliament passed a new act in 1858 and transferred the powers of the East India Company to the British Crown in order to ensure a more responsible management of Indian affairs. A member of the British cabinet was appointed Secretary of the State for India and made responsible for all the matters related to the governance of India. He was given a council to advise him called the Indian Council. The Governor General of India. Governor General कौन होते हैं? Person heading the East India Company in India. Okay, that is the Governor General of India was given the title of Viceroy, that is a personal representative of the Crown. Thus, the British government accepted direct responsibility for ruling India. Then, all ruling chiefs were assured that their territory would never be annexed in future. मतलब जो उनके साथ काम कर रहे थे, जो ब्रिटिशर्स के साथ मिले हुए थे, ब्रिटिशर्स ने उन्हें इंश्योर किया था कि आप लोग बिल्कुल सेफ हो, आपकी कोई भी डायनेस्टी छीनी नहीं जाएगी या आपका कोई भी टेरिटरी अनेक्स नहीं की जाएगी. ये वो लोग हैं जो ब्रिटिशर्स के लिए काम करते थे, ब्रिटिशर्स से डरते थे, अपने लोगों के साथ गद्दारी करते थे. They were allowed to pass on their kingdom to the heirs. और इनको ये भी अलाउड था कि समझो इनके अपने ओन चाइल्ड नहीं है तो ये अपने एडॉप्टेड चाइल्ड को बिठा सकते हैं. ये वो लोग हैं जो ब्रिटिशर्स के साथ हैं, जो उनका साथ दे रहे हैं. Okay, instead of recruiting, including however they were to hold their kingdoms as subordinates of the British Crown. और वो ब्रिटिश के लिए भी काम करते थे, अच्छी पोस्ट में थे. The proportion of Indian soldiers in the army would be reduced and the number of European soldiers would be increased. Instead of recruiting soldiers from Awadh, Bihar, Central India and South India, more soldiers would be recruited from among the Gurkhas, Sikh and Pathans. As the Muslims were believed to be significantly responsible for the rebellion, they were treated with suspicion and hostility. Their land and property were confiscated on a large scale. The British decided to respect the customary religious and social practices of the people in India. And last, the policies were made to protect landlords, zamindars, and give them security of rights over their lands. ये था 1857 के रिवोल्ट के बाद. ब्रिटिशर्स ने काफ़ी लॉयल्टी देनी शुरू कर दी थी इंडियंस की ताकि वो इंडियंस का पहले विश्वास जीत सके. ओके, बिकॉज ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी क्वीन एलिजाबेथ ने कह दिया था कि मैं आ रही हूँ इंडिया रूल करने. ओके, तो ब्रिटिशर्स को पता था कि ये तो फिर प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, हम तो फिर कभी रूल नहीं कर पाएंगे, सिर्फ ट्रेड एंड बिजनेस करना चाहेंगे. सो अब वो लॉयल्टी जीतने के लिए वो इस तरीके से लोगों को इम्प्रेस करते थे. ओके, then we go to the next lesson, that is weavers, iron smelters and factory owners. Under that, the first is Indian textiles and the world market. That is around 1750, before the British conquered Bengal. India was the world's largest producer of cotton textiles. Indian textiles were extensively traded in Southeast Asia as well as in West and Central Asia from the 16th century. European trading companies began to buy Indian textiles for sale in Europe. This flourishing trade and exquisite craftsmanship of India weavers is highlighted by words still used popularly in English and other languages. Abhi, you all know history of Indian textiles, muslin, calico, chintz, bandana. Then Indian textiles in European markets, that is, it was a Calico Act. Okay, बैन करने को कहा था उन्होंने the use of printed cotton textiles in England, and this law was called Calico Act. Then about the new inventions, John Kay ने किया था या Richard Arkwright ने किया था, new invention about the steam engine. Then major weaving centers in India, that is Dhaka, famous for its Malmal and Zamdani weaving. Then Indian weavers कौन है, जैसे तंती है, जुलाहाज है, मोमिन weavers, कई कोलकर, देवांश and Sale. Then the art of making weaving, art of weaving, spinning was mostly done by women, with the thread being spun on the charkhas and rolled on the takli, both being household spinning instruments. Weaving was usually done by the men on hand operated looms. For colored cloth, dyeing was done by the dyer, और उस जमाने में उसे कहा जाता था रंगरेज. Okay, then how was the कैसे decline हुआ Indian textiles का? As the cotton industries in Britain developed, they gave competition to Indian textiles in the European and American markets. High import duties in Britain and the Calico Act made it difficult to export textiles to that country. British manufactured cotton textiles replaced Indian textiles in their traditional markets in Africa, America and Europe by the beginning of the 19th century. And by the 1830s, British cotton cloth flooded Indian markets. Then also by the 1880s, 2/3 of all the cotton clothes worn by Indians were made of British cotton cloth. This affected the entire textile industry in India. Thousands of rural women lost their jobs. The women in Bengal were the worst hit. Then at the time of the national movement क्या हुआ था कि गांधी बापू ने तभी फिर खादी का उपयोग करने को कह दिया था. उन्होंने कहा था कि जितनी फॉरेन प्रोडक्ट्स हैं उन्हें बैन कर दिया जाए, उन्हें जला दिया जाए, उनका कोई यूज़ नहीं करेगा. अगर हमारा वो नुकसान करे तो उनका भी नुकसान हो. दैट इज़ अबाउट द खादी. वो हमारे वो चरखा जो बनता है वो हमारे फ्लैग के सेंटर में भी है, यू नो, चरखा वाइट के ऊपर चरखा 24 spokes. Then however, some types of cloths with intricate designs and embroidery could not be made by machines. These also had a good demand in the European market. Moreover, the British manufacturers did not produce coarse cloths. What is coarse cloth? It is cloth spun and woven by hand looms, which is rough or harsh in texture. बहुत rough और harsh है. Then how did the cotton mills come up? That the raw cotton was exported from the Bombay port to China and England. The first cotton mill. It was first set up in Mumbai in 1854. 1857 revolt के पहले की. काफ़ी ये राइज हुआ था, बहुत इसका अवेलेबल था, इसके इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट शुरू हो गए थे, पीपल लाइक सच कॉटन क्लॉथ. फिर पारसी गुजराती बिजनेस में दे ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड देयर, लाइक अहमदाबाद, देन कानपुर में उन्होंने शुरू कर दिए थे अपने बिजनेस. Thousands of poor peasants, artisans and agricultural laborers migrated to cities, क्योंकि यहाँ पे काफ़ी काम धंधा था, तो लोग जहाँ ज़्यादा काम है वहाँ जाने की कोशिश करते हैं. Then about this main part, that is a sword of Tipu Sultan, a wood still. That is Tipu Sultan ki sword. What was wood still? Then making of Tipu Sultan swords, abundant furnaces in villages. Okay. देन कैसे धीरे धीरे आयरन स्मेल्टिंग बिल्कुल डिक्लाइन हो गया था. देन हाउ आयरन एंड स्टील फैक्ट्रीज कम अप इन इंडिया. मैंने आपको बहुत बार बताया कि सबसे पहले साक्षी में था, बिकॉज साक्षी वॉज अ प्लेस वेयर ऑल दोज फैक्टर्स जो अवेलेबल थे टू बिल्डिंग दिस टिस्को, वो वहाँ पे था. सो नाउ इट इज़ इन जमशेदपुर. Then TISCO, about Tata Iron and Steel, was set up there with production starting in 1912. This was developed into a township which is now known as Jamshedpur. This was an opportune time for TISCO because expansion of railways in India was taking place. Soon in 1914, First World War broke out. Steel produced in Britain now had to meet the demands of war in Europe. So imports of British steel into India declined, and the Indian Railway that was expanding at that time turned to TISCO for supply of rails. Then TISCO also produced carriage wheels and shells for the war. By 1990, the colonial government was buying 90% of the steel manufactured by TISCO. Gradually, TISCO became the biggest steel industry within the British Empire. Then after the war, जो ये 1857 का रिवॉल्ट था, the nationalist movement developed and the industrial class became stronger. The demand for the government protection grew louder. Struggling to retain its control over India, the British government had to concede many of these demands in the last decades of the colonial rule. Okay, so we go to next, that is civilizing the native and educating the nation. Okay, that is how did the British saw education. किस तरीके से ब्रिटिश ने सोचा कि इंडियन पीपल को कैसे सिविलाइज्ड किया जाए. फॉर दैट इंग्लिश एडुकेशन बहुत ज़रूरी है. देन द ट्रेडिशन ऑफ ओरिएंटलिज्म. Then officials of the East India Company, then grave areas of the East. English Education Act of 1835, that is English became the medium of higher education. The decision was made to stop the promotion of Oriental institutions like the Calcutta, Madrasa and Banaras Sanskrit College. English textbooks were produced for schools. Okay, that is how in 1854 an education dispatch, popularly known as Wood's Dispatch, was introduced in India, which emphasized the practical benefits of a system of European learning as opposed to Oriental knowledge. Okay, just तभी तो ये लेसन है ना, civilizing the native, यानी ब्रिटिशर्स चाहते थे कि किस तरीके से इंडियन पीपल भी सिविलाइज्ड हो जाए. फॉर दैट वन हैज़ टू स्टडी, आपको लिटरेट होना पड़ेगा, राइट. देन अबाउट द लोकल स्कूल्स, about the report of William Adam, new routines, new rules, then the agenda for a national education, then how English education has enslaved us, ये गांधी जी ने कहा था, and Tagore's abode of peace, that is Shanti Niketan. Okay, then we go to a geography book, that is Industries. Industry, you all know, it refers to an economic activity that is concerned with production of goods, extraction of minerals. For example, सबसे बड़ा example है iron and steel industry. coal mining industry and tourism industry. Then about the classification of industries, जहाँ पे है raw materials, size and ownership. Raw materials is further divided into agro-based industries, mineral-based industries, marine-based industries and forest-based industries. Further size is further into small-scale industries and large-scale industries. Ownership, private sector industry, public sector industries, joint sector industries, cooperative sector industries. Then factors affecting the location of industries. ओके वो तो आपको पता ही है. रॉ मटेरियल सबसे पहले तो लैंड, वाटर, लेबर, पावर, कैपिटल, ट्रांसपोर्ट मार्केट, ये सब चीज़ नज़दीक है तो वन कैन फ्लरिश इट्स इंडस्ट्रीज. ओके, दैट इज इंडस्ट्रियल सिस्टम कंसिस्ट ऑफ इनपुट, देन प्रोसेस होना एंड देन आउटपुट. ओके, देन इंडस्ट्रियल रीजन्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, ईस्टर्न नॉर्थ अमेरिका, ईस्टर्न एशिया, वेस्टर्न एंड सेंट्रल यूरोप. Then near the new seaports and coal fields, Eastern Europe. और इंडिया में है मुंबई पुणे क्लस्टर, अहमदाबाद बड़ौदा रीजन, गुड़गांव दिल्ली मेरठ रीजन, बेंगलोर तमिलनाडु रीजन, छोटा नागपुर इंडस्ट्रियल बेल्ट, कोलम थिरुवनंतपुरम इंडस्ट्रियल क्लस्टर, हुगली रीजन एंड विशाखापट्टनम, that is Guntur belt. Then about the distribution of major industries, that is iron and steel industry. Then उसमें स्टील है सबसे पहले तो स्टील के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, उसके यूजेस, कहाँ कहाँ है उसके लोकेशंस. देन अबाउट द कॉटन टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री इन इंडिया और फर्स्ट मैकेनाइज्ड टेक्सटाइल मिल इन इंडिया. देन ऑल्सो अबाउट अहमदाबाद. देन IT, दैट इज इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी. ओके, IT हब्स जो बेंगलोर में बहुत माना जाता है, उसके अलावा मुंबई, न्यू दिल्ली, हैदराबाद, चेन्नई, गुड़गांव, पुणे, थिरुवनंतपुरम, कोची एंड चंडीगढ़ में भी बहुत सारे IT सेक्टर्स हैं. दैट इज इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी. उसका मेन हब है वो है बेंगलोर. ओके, दैट इज Bangalore is located on the Deccan Plateau, from where it gets the name Silicon Plateau. That is famous for its mild climate throughout the year. Then also about the Silicon Valley, that is California, वहाँ पे भी IT सेक्टर है. Okay students, so this was a small recap of your PT3. Okay, and also civics के भी जो काफ़ी lessons है, right? प्लीज़ डू रीड द सिविक्स में तो ज़्यादातर आपको पता है इट इंक्लूड्स द स्टोरीज, और जो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग आपके सिविक्स को बना रहा है. सो प्लीज़ डू रीड द टेक्स्ट, डू वेल इन SST, स्कोर फुल मार्क्स इन MCQs, दैट विल बी इन गूगल फॉर्म, स्कोर फुल मार्क्स. ओके, एंड प्लीज़ रीड द टेक्स्ट, दैट विल बी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू टू डू इन MCQs. ओके, टेक्स्ट पढ़ो आप. ओके, एंड प्लीज़ बी सीरियस, अच्छी तरह से आप अपना टेस्ट देना. एंड ऑल हैव टू स्कोर 50 out of 50 इन माई MCQs SST. एंड प्लीज़ डू सबमिट योर सब्जेक्ट एनरिचमेंट एक्टिविटी बिफोर और ऑन 12th of January. Okay, so with this, that it was a small revision class. Okay, so with this I wrap up my class here. All the best to all my dear students. Thank you to all. Take care.